What the hell? Meghan Markle and Pervy Prince Andy were getting frisky on a yacht, guys. Oh my gosh, I have to comment. I have to comment. Look, the freaking flowers. It's spring. Oh, somebody strangle me to death. Like, anyway, so I have to comment on this because I'm me. Also, side note, for those of you who watch my videos regularly, low-key, this is one time when I've actually enjoyed sleeping. Obviously, the usual, like, I can't just sleep. There has to be something happening in my dreams. And I just want to not have dreams. Like, that is literally my dream, is to not have dreams. But I don't know if I told you guys this before. In my dreams, there's this person that's always intimidating me from, like, speaking. And I think they're like a manifestation of a demon, right? Because I know this person, right? But in the dreams, they're always like, if steroids put themselves on steroids and then this person took those steroids, it's a man as well. And anyways, in my dream last night, and honestly, I think it just goes to show with this, where I'm at mentally, I just lost it with them. And I was just shouting at them, like, hit me, go on, I dare you to hit me. Like, I know you're not going to hit me. Like, and I was just going crazy, and I was calling them a wimp. I was saying the coward, like all this stuff. Yeah, it was getting crazy. That's how I really am, to be honest. That is who I really am. Like, I'm just all this nice I'm doing is because I fear the Lord. But yeah, they didn't hit me. And I was like, see, I told you. Like, I'm so glad, because there were days where I used to wake up in sweat from this person trying to beat me up in my dreams. And then, I don't know, the tides have turned, I guess. I knew that already, because I can feel the difference. Anyway, back to Meghan. I just had to tell you guys that because I was thinking about it. So apparently Meghan, yeah, and Andrew, you guys know I have to comment on this because as I read in one of the articles I was looking at while I was trying to find out more information about all of this just now, you know, the crown, Charles, is all about making sure we protect our public image, because these things, they affect what the people, the public trust, and especially the younger generation's opinion of the royals. So I've told you guys this. This is all they care about. Like, they have to keep up faces because the only power they have is the power they've been given, i.e. the power that everybody looks at them as royals. Like, I don't even like to say King Charles because king is a heavy status, mate. Jesus is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Why am I calling this buffoon like king anything? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's just another episode of in the modern society, we just give people titles. They don't have to live up to them. Like, they don't have to live up to anything. And I think part of it is also where I've been watching a lot of anime, and a lot of them are like actual based on historical events. So I've noticed. Like, kings used to be like the most powerful, the most trustworthy. Like, they used to be out in the battle or like strategizing. That's a really cool motorbike. The hell? My next door neighbor, he has a whole bunch of motorbikes. I never even knew, but he's built a whole like outdoor shed outside the front of his house where he keeps them. And he was like, yeah, I've sold some of them. He also helped his daughter build one of those. You know, like how people are like living in a van now? It was really cool to watch the whole process. But yeah, he's a biker. You never would have thought. Anyway, yeah, like, having that title used to mean something. Like, it used to mean like you were a formidable foe. You were like, this is why I'm laughing at all these world leaders. It's like Donald Trump's out here doing whatever he's doing. Yeah, Donald Trump is the one who's ticking me off the most at the moment for some reason. Which brings me to another thought there. When he was all being voted for president and whatnot, yeah, last year, or whatever that year was. Thank God, by the way. I'm so glad that the time I decided I might vote, it was already too late. Praise Jesus. The Christians are like, well, we're going to choose Donald Trump because he's the best, is that like, almost like he's the lesser of two evils. When are we just gonna like actually stand up ourselves? Like, that's what I want to know. When are we gonna actually, when did somebody, and all of us in our own ways, and I am, by the way, guys, in my own ways, believe it or not, I just can't share everything I'm doing, but like, I need to take this jacket off because I'm too freaking hot, bro. Hold on. Okay. Like, when are we just going to stand up? Like, when are we going to stop compromising and just being like, oh, that's good enough. So as long as that, like, nah, bro. So yeah, the world leaders anyways, like I'm saying, presidents, prime ministers, mayor, senator, don't care, right? They're all not very useful, and they all just get to sit there getting old and fat while everybody else is having to put their lives on the line for their weird agendas, for their own selfish agendas that they have. So I don't like it. But the reason I want to talk about this Meghan Andrew situation is because I feel like Meghan Markle is like the only type of Jezebel people know how to recognize. I've told you guys there's different versions of a Jezebel, and they all factor under the same umbrella. Selfish woman. Selfish woman. Me first, and whatever the cost, I will pay it. Any version of that is a version of a Jezebel, okay? That's why I always spot these women, because they're always the very demanding, needy. I describe everybody as needy, to be honest. I feel like everybody's so freaking needy, right? Going back to what I said before, one thing I started to think about while I was watching all these animes, right? When somebody would be dying, what people would actually say, right? Because they wouldn't say, oh, don't die, you deserve to live a long life, and you blah, blah, blah. It would always be, what are we going to do without you? How are we going to survive? How are we? Who's going to tell us? Who's going to help us? Needy, needy, needy. Everybody's so freaking needy, by the way. That's what I've realized. That's why I feel exhausted, because it's just like, if you have anything to offer in life, all people want to do is drain it out of you. Blood-sucking leeches. But anyway, so she's just another version of a Jezebel. So get to the rumor. This video is chaotic. Oh well. She, apparently, Andrews also spoke up about this, yada yada, was knowing members of the royal family way before the wedding. So apparently she had been on a yacht or wherever with Andrew, and he'd specifically requested her presence or whatever. Now, let me tell you why I think this is believable. Because Epstein is believable, because Diddy's believable, because why? Every time these people in power are offering something that the other person is desperate for. So that's the other thing I've been realizing. In the midst of this whole long series I'm doing that hasn't finished yet, but will finish soon, it's always people just desperate for something. Like, oh, I always wanted to be a model. I always wanted to be an actress. I always wanted to be a singer. I think that's what's put me off with creativity a lot myself. It's like looking at all these stories and realizing that people were that desperate for like attention and that desperate. Like, you're prepared to really just do whatever it takes, like, to get that, or even just the validation, right? Because I think the underlying factor for a lot of the people, especially a lot of these women, if I can say it like that, especially because Meghan Markle received a message. It was like, you have been requested in royal quarters or something like that. It was. I just saw somebody that I know, somebody good that I know actually. You've been requested by royal quarters, whatever. As a girl, she thought, oh my gosh, the royal family, a prince wants to see me. This is what I dreamed of my whole life. This is what I grew up on Disney watching. And this could be my moment, and this could be my Prince Charming. I just never cared for that stuff, you guys. The Prince Charmings, yeah, they always looked a little bit gay, if you ask me. Not my cup of tea. But You get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So I think a lot of these guys, yeah, where they had leverage with these kinds of women, that's why I believe it. Because I've seen it. I've seen how, yeah, girls, women lose their heads because of a bit of male attention. Like, head lost. It's like, oh my gosh, somebody who appreciates me and worships me and thinks I'm the best at everything and does every single thing for me. Oh my goodness, I'm in love. This is like, I can't let this go because he, like, look at him, he adores me. He adores me, you know? Can't relate because I hate being worshipped. I hate that, by the way. I really hate it because worship God, not me. Bruh, the hell? And also, like, worship is usually done blindly. You know what I mean? Like, you're not thinking, like, it's giving Adam and Eve. I was just thinking about this, yeah, before I came out. Imagine Adam, yeah? He's there with God. God's all talking about, hey, just watch the garden and keep it. Oh, by the way, if you eat the fruit of that tree, you shall surely die. But you got everything else on offer. And he's just there working away, naming all the animals, tending the garden. Next minute, God's like, bruh, can you just take a nap? Take a nap real quick. Goes to take a nap now. Wakes up. And he's like, who's that girl? La 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 la. And his head switched. He got lost in the sauce, bro. Bro got lost in the sauce. He got lost in the sauce, yeah? He's always there seeing Eve. She's all naked and everything, right? And he's like, I ain't never felt this way before. I don't know what this just happening in my body, but I just saw a woman, which he also made that name. I just saw me, I don't know who. What did you say? Let's eat to that tree. What did the Lord say? I don't remember what the Lord said. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want. Like, this is what I'm saying. Everybody's just a slave to themselves. Like, at the end of the day. We're all just slaves to ourselves and slaves to this world. So he's all talking about, sure, let's eat that fruit over there. You like that fruit? Anything for you, Eve. What are you talking about? You're my babes. Lost in the sauce. And no longer able to think straight. Yeah? So we're all just different versions of Adam and Eve, in my opinion. On either side. Either getting lost in the sauce or just loving the... You know, it's the selfishness. The same thing Eve did, right? You shall surely die. Brother, you know what? It was one thing for her to eat the fruit, yeah? It was another thing for her to then give it to Adam, knowing what she'd been told. So it's like, girl, what was the point in this? Guys, the Bible don't miss when it comes to just wisdom. It just does not miss. So yeah, I believe it. I believe that Meghan was there. I believe her as a young, struggling actress, you know. Oh no, as a black woman, this is so hard to get in the industry. There's not enough representation. Yada, yada, yada. Yada, 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 all the way onto the yacht where she was there with Andrew. I believe it. And he's like, listen, you know what you need to do? Get on your knees and get to sucking. Because right now your career sucks. And if you get on your knees right now, this is the only thing that's going to be sucking. Not your career anymore. As I have... Guys, I know. Send me to jail. Oh no, I made a joke. I just know. Yeah, and she's always like, oh yeah, sure. And obviously some girls, yeah, this is the thing. Some girls like to be preyed on. Like, can I just say that as well? Can I just get that off my chest? Is this a safe space? Of course it's not. Right? Some girls like to be preyed on because, like, it's like with men. Like, you know, like the men who say, oh, I don't care, any girl will do. Like, I just want whatever woman wants me. Like, those are dumb things that men say because, like, oh, wow, that makes you feel so special. That makes you feel so special and so wanted because you're just happy to take anything and everyone and anyone. Yay. Special. Feeling very, very special right now. Obviously not. It's busy out now. What time did I come out here? Should I go in there? But that guy's working right now. I feel like I'm going to try and avoid him. Because he's all talking about, you look pretty today. Have you lost some weight? Are you just by yourself? What do you mean you're single? Yikes. Anyway, yeah, we're skipping that shop. Even though I prefer it. What is going on here? Is there a queue? Oh, this isn't going to work for me. Not at all. Anyway, be right back, guys. I got to figure out what the hell on? What's going on? Okay, so I get it now. It's all the freaking college sixth form kids. To think that was me a whole 13 years ago is so crazy. They all look like babies. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, these are 16, 17, 18-year-olds. And they all look like babies to me. So I don't know why people are so comfortable justifying getting with kids. Like, I've said it before. Like, even myself in my own job, at the moment, yeah, I'm working with the GCSE students. They're all 15, 16, you know. They're children. Like, I don't know how anybody is questioning anything of that matter at all. I don't understand how people are attracted at all. I understand from the kids' standpoint because, like, when I was a kid, there was definitely, teachers I thought, oh, you, sir, are a handsome fella. You know what I mean? But I was a kid, I didn't know any better. And that's different than the adult doing it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, back to what I was actually saying. So, yeah, I just think Meghan Markle, I think I've said this before and I'll say it again, the only person losing out here is actually Harry. Because Andrew's living the dream still. Like, Andrew, Epstein and Diddy are all living the exact things I've been praying to ask God for. Diddy, somewhere no one can contact him. No one can get a hold of him. If he says I don't want to see them, he doesn't see them. There's no ifs, buts, maybes. There's no, oh, but can you just hear me out? Everybody has extra feelings they need to tell you. But you just want to cut them the freak off. Yeah? It's like, I don't owe you an explanation. Right? Then you got Epstein. Everybody thinks he's dead. I've thought all out my life, could I fake my own death and just disappear? And then just live life like as if my old life never existed? Yep. And then we got Andrew. Oh no, he strips off of shaking hands and taking photos of all the peasants, right? Because that's royal duties. You just go around the world and just get a photo op, right? Be seen in Asia, be seen in Africa, be seen in South America, be seen in Australia. Oh my gosh, the royals are here. They come and they did this and they're part of this foundation. It's all BS, bro. He's been taken away from having to do all of that, to now be, on a timeout, living away from the public eye on royal property. He's living the freaking dream. They're all living the dream. They're all living the damn freaking dream. That's why I know this world is backwards. So the only person losing out is Harry, and I think Harry was stuck in the middle because I feel like Harry, to me, he gives off the classic case of, if I just try, I can do the right thing. And that's what I realized from watching all these anime that I watch, because it's always be the same story. There'll be some like young character, and they start out with the hope of making the world a better place. And then by the end, they're always having to just realize that the world is the world. There's always going to be war, rape, and slavery. Someone's always going to get greedy. And so realistically, all you could do is just try to protect the people you care about as best as you can for the time you're here, because it's all going to hit we're all going to hit the repeat button in the next generation and in the next generation and in the next generation anyway, right? So this whole idea of, if we just talk, that's what I used to remember with Naruto, right? I watched Naruto while I was still in London, and it took like 2 years. So those days I was really grinding in a different kind of way. And I remember Naruto's fights would always start because he would try to talk to the person first. Like, hey, look, we don't need to fight. We don't need to fight here, right? We can just have a conversation about whatever the heck we need to have a conversation about. But you don't need to fight. And then the other person would always be adamant on fighting because they were convinced they could beat him, and they were, a slave to war, rape, and slavery themselves. Violence. Then obviously he would end up beating them. And it would always be like, I didn't want to have to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to have to get to this point. I didn't want to have to embarrass you in front of your buddies. But we had to just make this a fight. We had to lose all these lives. And like, that's the thing. These people, who work for the Kingdom of Darkness, they're so happy for the casualties. Because I think about that as well. Like, this is like what I was saying about the whole Donald Trump thing with the Zimbabwe story arc, and how he like took away the American aid, all to just come back. Oh, an ambulance. Shout out to those folks. I've been in an ambulance more times than any person should be in an ambulance. Anyway. We really should turn my life into a movie. Maybe even a TV series at this point. I always think, like, when Donald Trump did that, the reason why I said it was such a scumbag move is because if you're saying we're putting America first, so I just want to be clear, by the way, guys, before I continue on this, I've mentioned Trump a few times. I'm not in favor of either side of anyone. I have to be clear. So no, I'm not on the left, I'm not on the right. I'm at the feet of the Lord. I'm at the feet of Jesus. I'm at the cross. So don't look for me in no political nothing. I think they're all just two sides of the same exact coin, and they're all just, it's all a performance. It's almost like the devil said, okay, you guys are going to play the Democrats and you guys are going to play the Conservatives. Now let's put on a show. Like, that's how I look at it, right? But anyway, like what Donald Trump did, took away the Medicaid, whatever. He knew what he was doing. If it's like we're putting America first, whatever, by all means, go ahead, sir. Like I said, I think every country should just focus on itself. I think every country needs to just focus on its own country and stop meddling in foreign affairs. Like, just let the foreign affairs do what foreign affairs are doing. Because again, why does the West feel so we have to jump in to help Ukraine. Oh, we have to jump in Israel and Palestine. We have to jump in. No, you don't. The only reason you're jumping in is because your countries need these countries and you want this to end favorably for the sake of your own pockets. So don't pretend that you care about humanitarianism or whatever, right? Because I'm thinking the people, say like in Zimbabwe, who were reliant on those things, if you're going to take them away for the sake of protecting your country, go ahead. But if you're just going to circle back in 5 months, when people can potentially have died, people could potentially be in serious issues, just to now try and strong arm them to make a more invasive deal, talk about, we want to take all your biological data, but you're not getting ours. Screw you. And what a scumbag move. What a scumbag move to do that. Because you've actually hurt people along the way. Like, you've actually hurt people. And I get it, guys. I've come to the realization in the last couple of weeks that there's no success and there's no winning in this life, especially if it goes my way and we start a revolution. That isn't going to cause there to be some casualties, right? But like, if there are casualties, let them be for something. Like, let people be hurt or die. Like, I would rather die for a cause. Like, I'm happy to die for a cause. I'm happy to die, not even see the end, but if I help those who make it to the end get there. Not just because I'm playing some strong arm move, because I think I'm a superpower. Can barely even stand straight. Bro can barely even stand on the freaking stage, right? This is what I'm saying, it's a joke. You can barely even stand on stage. I can't even watch it anymore. I can't watch these leaders anymore. I can't watch them because they just look pathetic. They look pathetic. Sorry, excuses, just holding on to this power, right? So I get it. It's back to Meghan Markle. My brain's all over the show, guys. It's because I've gone into psycho mode, like, I think now, because the world has just ticks me off, and like, the Lord knows me. He knows that once I get pushed over the edge of annoyance, then I just don't care anymore, and I just don't hold back, which evidently is why he's allowed everything to happen this way, because he wanted that to happen. So that's crazy on his part. I'm crossing the road, guys, sorry. But so I believe it. I believe she did that. I believe she did it for the power. I believe poor Harry's just the only one losing out, because he's just, doe-eyed in love. Like, oh my gosh, this woman, she's different, she's strong, she's brave. In some ways, probably reminds him of his own mother, because she was Diana. Which again, another sad person who's dead. You see how it's all the freaking creepazoids, freakazoids who are just living long into their 80s, 90s. Yeah. And it's the flipping lovely, beautiful people who actually contributed to the group project. The Princess Dianas, the Michael Jacksons, all these people who are dead. Who are dead. They're the ones who are dead and dying. And where's Epstein? On Epstein Island, oh, he's dead. Bro's all talking about, oh, he signed into Fortnite. We've seen him on Fortnite. What the frick is Jeffrey Epstein doing on Fortnite? What was Jeff Bezos doing at Coachella? Guys, they are literally mocking us. Oh, gosh. I've noticed, from being out at times like this, kids are always freaking skipping everywhere. They're always running, skipping. It's kind of sweet, though. Bless them. They don't know what the world is like, and I hope they never have to. Like, that's always my prayer. Unlike the older generations who like to tell you, like, you're young, enjoy your youth now, because it all gets worse when you're older. When you get older, your body's falling apart, your knees hurt, your back hurts, you can't do anything, and it's just horrible. Everything's horrible about aging. So enjoy now, because it's going to get horrible. It's like, you know what? Why can't I just live, actually live? So I don't say stuff like that to younger people at all. I actually just pray in those moments, rather than saying stuff like that. I rather pray that they get to that the world, the way they see the world, that it'll be as close to that as possible by the time they become an adult. That's what I do instead, rather than just being the doom and gloom. Because people are like, enjoy your youth now, enjoy your 20s, enjoy this, because it all gets bad. It's like, that doesn't make anything more enjoyable. That makes me just actually scared to get older, to be honest. My whole complex about turning 30 is probably because the older generation's always banging on about how enjoy your 30s, that's your time to have fun. This is it all goes downhill from there. It's like, bro, you know what? You've actually ruined it, because now you're making me overthink. Anyway. But yeah, I think Meghan, she got what she wanted. She's with a prince. She's the victim. Because, a lot of these women, they have to be seen as the victim. This is something I've learned in my life, throughout things. I've told you guys, you've heard many a story from me. I'll give you another one that I've been wanting to bring up, actually, so I may as well bring it up now. When I was at school, there was this girl, right? So, me being me, who's moved a lot and has been to lots of different schools, there was a new girl at school, right? And the school would always do this thing where they would have, designated buddies who would, hang out with you when you first started. Now, I knew that was a scam, because let's be real, this is when I feel like adults don't remember being a child at all. Because you've got somebody who's forced to be there, so they're not your real friend or whatever. So I decided I was going to befriend her, and I was like, I want to go and make friends and whatever. And we used to get the bus together sometimes, and we became actual friends. She always used to tell me these stories about this boyfriend that she had at her previous school who was in the year above, right? So I never thought anything of it. I never questioned it, whatever. Never mentioned this girl before, by the way, I don't think, on my channel. So this is all at secondary school. Secondary school was actually full of drama. And then people be like, and how comes your education? Education what? My lessons was such a background character at school. But anyway, so she told us about this boyfriend, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Didn't think anything of it. But she would talk about him all the time. Which, okay, sis is in love. It is what it is, whatever. Anyway, one of my friends and her boyfriend, another one of my friends, her and her boyfriend, for some reason, decided to contact this guy. I think they were going to try and do something cute, oh, let's have a surprise double date. We'll invite him down, and we can all meet up, the four of them. In doing so, my friend, who's one of the friends I mentioned in one of my previous videos, she finds out that this guy is oh, I don't know her. I don't even know who you're talking about. And so basically she was lying. Now here's the gag of it. I didn't do this, right? This is why I say I hate it here on this planet. I was not the one who looked into it. I didn't question anything. All I did was go out of my way to try and befriend her, because I felt bad for her for being the new girl, right? And I know what it's like to be the new girl. And I know what it's like when the teachers try and make you a friend, and they might not actually like you, or they're just doing it because they've been asked, whatever. So then the rumor starts to spread now that this is all a lie, right? So this other friend, she was being hella messy about it, because they were all laughing and they were all making fun about the situation, and I was shocked. Let me tell you how I found out about this, yeah? I get approached by some other girls, another group of girls, not a group of girls I've already mentioned, a different group of freaking girls, yeah? comes up to me and they're like, why are you spreading rumors about so and so and so and so? So she basically found a group that took her in the midst of this. They've approached me on some aggressive energy, talking about, why have you said such and such and such and such? And I was like, I literally never said anything. Even when I heard the rumor, I didn't share it with anyone. I didn't tell a soul. So I'm saying, I'm sitting on a lot of people's secrets, you know. This is why no one should actually try and take me on in any capacity. Because if I decide to start sharing people's secrets, I've got actual proof. And I've got actual real truth, not lies. And we're going somewhere with this. So she's now spreading the rumor, the girl, that I was spreading this rumor. How have I ended up in the middle of this again? This is why, you know, when I say, you know what, just let me disappear. Like, let me fake my death and let me be on, you know, on a timeout in a royal palace somewhere, right? Because of course she had to play the victim and I had to become the problem. And I'm just so sick and freaking tired. And this is what happens. This is why I mentioned the story. These kind of women, yeah, these Jezebelics, they're always the victim in the story. And like the only way you can ever come out from that is you have to then be comfortable with with sharing information that makes everything really messy, if that makes sense. Like you have to be comfortable with saying, like, that's why I just don't want to talk with anybody, guys. That's the truth. Because I don't want to have people in my life who are just there because I went through all this ag to build a case, to provide proof. It's like, oh, and now you want to be my friend, or now you love me? Hell no, I don't want that. Why couldn't you believe me the first time? Why do I have to get messy? I don't like getting messy. I don't like doing that. I don't like it. Like, some people, they thrive, they live off of that type of stuff. As my brother would say, addicted to chaos. You know? I don't like that. You know? And I hate that I live in a world that, like, awards that. And so that's like what I'm saying about Meghan Markle. She loves a bit of the mess. She loves it. Like, since the beginning. I remember she has that story about when she was a kid and she noticed that in an advert, it's funny because I noticed an advert like this in the UK. That's quite recent. She's like, there was an advert talking about washing the dishes. It was like for dishwashing liquid, right? And it was targeted towards women, and it was all like, yeah, women this, women that, which made me laugh because there's an advert in the UK. Never thought into it myself until the other day when I just randomly thought about it. And there's this shop called Iceland, right, in England, and everything is pretty much frozen. They actually make really good stuff, and also the sidemen sell their products in Iceland as well. Some of them, their products are everywhere. Even in the freaking little corner shop that I just avoided going into, they're selling the sidemen ice cream in there. But yeah, so in the advert, it's like, that's why mums go to Iceland. Like, that's what it always says. And I never thought about it. But anyways, Meghan Markle, it's not that deep. Like, these things are not that deep to me, in all honesty. But as a kid, she was all writing letters. She wrote a letter to the CEO about the sexism in the frigging advert. And I'm just like, this is where we started. Like, and then again, the acting of it. I've realized, yeah, a lot of people in the entertainment industry genuinely are desperate for attention. Like, genuinely desperate for attention. This is where Jezebel does her best work, especially for us girlies, because if you can get that somehow, if you can get that by sleeping your way to the top or by lying on somebody's name or whatever, then why wouldn't you if you're that desperate? Because that's the thing with me, is just like I keep trying things in life, and then I keep getting to this like barrier where I realize I don't care enough to go against my morals and values. If this is what I have to do to win, like, this is why I don't argue. Like, if there's a female Jezebel in any situation, especially when there's a man involved, I'm not going to try and plead my case, and I'm not even going to try and explain myself to you. I'm going to let you run off with her. I'm not going to defend myself. You're going to realize years later that you messed up, but I'm not going to get involved, because if I do, you're not going to believe me. You're going to fall for said Jezebel, who's telling you and doing everything you want to hear. Because she's faking it, because she's prepared to do whatever it takes to get what she wants, which is to take whatever she wants from you. Circling back to what I said in the beginning about how people are very needy. So just because I'm showing you respect, I'm not trying to take everything from you, and I'm also not telling you everything you want to hear. I end up becoming the problem or difficult. And you think that she's like, it's the same story. So I can imagine how Harry fell into that, because it's like, he's seen what happened with his mom. She was outspoken. She ends up dead. He obviously knows the secrets. I reckon he knew about the Andrew stuff, and I reckon he was all right with it anyway. She probably found some creative way to like explain it, probably on some, Harry, I'm sorry, like I had to do what I had to do. How can I keep bumping into cars with flat tires? Is there like a tire slasher around here? I'm sorry, I had to do it because I wanted to start my career, and I'm so sorry. I know he's your uncle and everything, and like, but you're the one I really love. I just did that just because I wanted to get onto Suits, which I also watched Suits, by the way, back in the days. I watched it more than once even. It's a good show, I think. I just needed to get my Hollywood career. And so yes, I got down on my knees and I opened my mouth. I'm sorry, I can't really take it seriously because it's just dumb. Like, imagine Prince Andrew. That's embarrassing. Like, this is one of the main reasons why I'm not just out here for the streets. Because, like, if I had sex with you, and then like people, like, you have the possibility of telling people that I was associated with you, you were inside my body. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Like, that is embarrassing. Like, oh, embarrassing. So I can't do it. Like, it's just like, oh. Imagine, Prince Andrew and you in the same sentence. Ugh, disgusting. Epstein. Ugh, just these world leaders, and that makes me feel sick to my stomach. I could not. That's just embarrassing. Like, it's actually embarrassing. For what? For what? A little Hollywood role. Dumb, stupid Hollywood. I believe it. I believe it happened. I believe she was doing what she did. I believe Harry looked past it, saw her as the victim. Because you see, the thing is, to the good men of the world, the thing that works against them, God bless them, is that they're genuinely actually compassionate and empathetic towards women, like in our actual genuine real life struggles. So that's what annoys me, because then it's like the wrong women weaponize that, and then they make it into a bad thing, and then the men stop doing that, and then everybody's just like, oh, this, and then like I've heard a man tell me, oh, this woman, I was like this with this woman, and she did this, and I'm like, okay, within the first two sentences, any details you told me about this woman, the first two sentences of what you said already told me that she was a huge red flag. But how did you not see that? I don't know, right? And, it becomes about, oh, and she's this and she's that. And it's like, but a lot of them are compassionate, like, genuinely, and they genuinely actually do care and do have respect. And unfortunately, just like with us women, those are the men that the Jezebels attack. And I feel like that's where Harry was, because he was never really going to be king, right? So we all know, we've all seen it. We all saw the flipping Prince Harry nudes on the news and stuff like that. And we all saw it, so we all knew that. And there was always stuff about him. Like, obviously, he still went to the army. He still did his like royal duties, but he was always known to be the one who was outside, if you like. But he also seemed very sweet, very kind. And obviously him and his brother, I'm sure there was a wedge put between them. Like, this is the other thing about growing up and having siblings, is that, wow, that's a potential recipes for disaster, because one minute you can be all family, and the next minute, like I've seen it in my own family, in the older generations. Because on one side of the family, as soon as all the grandparents died, the word family got very interesting. All of a sudden, all the siblings are against each other when it's coming down to it. It talks about inheritance. I was like, oh, this is fascinating, isn't it? So that family word obviously didn't mean nothing, did it? Never did. I already knew that. So I can imagine he felt isolated. So him being isolated, him seeing what he saw, going through what he did with his mum, not being considered to be king anyway, kind of allowed to do whatever he wants to do. Meghan, desperate to be famous, deeply selfish, perfect combination. Also the fact, she was a woman of color, adds to the spiciness of it all, because oh my gosh, can you imagine, like, one of the royal family marries a black woman? Oh my gosh, even though she's like really, really light-skinned, right? But I'm sure that added to the appeal in a weird kind of way on his rebellious story arc. But not even just like he was trying to rebel, but I just mean the fact that, like, being against the system and whatever. And then her, obviously, I'm sure, like, that's why even all the stuff that she does, I'm just like, give it a break, girl. You married Prince Harry. you're set for life. Like, you can actually just behave. Like, I'm not in favor of the royal family, as you guys know. But it's like, you can just play the role, in all honesty, and just shut up. Like, we can actually just do that. Like, well, maybe we should, because you actually, like, be grateful for what you have. You know what I mean? Unless you're actually going against the system itself. Not on some, I'm going on Oprah Winfrey, also another Weinstein, Epstein. I saw about Oprah and how she was all these orphanages. I think it was Oprah that she was building. And again, kids are just randomly going missing. Because that's the thing. When kids do not have adults that account for them, anything can happen. And that's what the devil's always looking for. Where can I get to the children where the parents aren't there? Like my job. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there because there's nothing else to say, really. I'm not surprised. Like, I just see stuff in the news and I just like, okay, that's another day on this hellscape. Like, just another day. Like, it's just another day on planet Earth. Like, this isn't surprising. It's not even heartbreaking anymore. It's just like, I wish I was wrong. Like, that's what I keep thinking. Like, I can't believe I've got to this stage of my life to figure out that all of my suspicions were indeed correcto from the beginning. It's just not surprising. This world favours the losing team, like I said. The Andrews, the Epsteins, the Diddys, the Markles. And then the people with the good hearts and whatever, they're the ones who get the short end of the stick. That's why they were either cancelled crazy or in coffins. Either cancelled, they're either crazy, oh, Kanye's off his meds, Kanye this, meds, everyday meds, Kanye. Right? Coffin. Dead altogether. And that's so sad. So anyway, I'm going to skedaddle. I got things to do. Because if life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one.